This is a question that I get asked more than any other on Football Manager, and that is about my set pieces. Now, while set pieces are exclusive to particular tactics, so importing some may not necessarily work, I just want to go through a couple of ideas today that will probably help you score a few more set pieces. On your screen right now, you will see a little test run that I have done with 𝗕𝗨𝗪's low-key tactic, and you can see some interesting goal scorers. They are sorted by the amount of goals that they did score. 21 goals for 𝗕𝗨𝗬𝗘 in this particular instance. We've also got 8 for 𝘕𝗓𝗡𝗘𝗬. We've got 5 for John Stones. We've got 3 for Rodri as well as a potential opportunity for him to play at centre-back. We've also got 1 for 𝗦𝗪𝗘𝗘𝗬 as well. So you can see another one for 𝗕𝗨𝗬𝗘𝗡. So you can see these defenders are scoring a lot of goals. Now, a lot of people are kind of concerned about set pieces and their attacking set pieces. So we'll go over them today and you can kind of see left and right and kind of what we are trying to do here. Now, the first thing is obvious, guys. We are doing a near post corner. It's one of the most impactful things that you can see and do in Football Manager. This is how things are set up. This is what 𝗕𝗨𝗪 has put on this particular tactic, and you can kind of see some of the ideas here. Again, G not the pioneer of this. There are other people who have done this. I know 𝗕𝗪𝗘𝗡 is a big fan of this kind of idea, but bringing a guy close to you at the near post, to the corner taker, sorry, bringing a person coming short to the guy putting the ball in, and then delivering the ball to the near post. Now, as you can see in this particular instance, if I quick pick, this is going to be delivered to the near post where you will find our main man, Rúben Dias. Now, other players are in the box as well, but Rúben Dias is there to attack that near post. We've also got our other centre-back at the other side to attack that far post. We've got a defensive midfielder lurking again at that far post, and our striker in Erling Haaland marking the goalkeeper. So if things are bouncing around in the penalty area, Erling Haaland is the main man on that. We've also got our 2 wingers lurking on the edge of the area. Now, this is a relatively good setup. You've got 3 players back, an attacking midfielder in 𝗕𝗨𝗪𝗑, who's probably going to take the kick, but we've got our 2 fullbacks back, and then the 2 wingers lurking on the edge of the area. So hopefully you don't get countered too much. And then on the other side, we have a far post corner. So yes, 1 near post, 1 far post. Very, very similar in terms of its setup. So we have the corner kick taker. We have a player coming short again. Then we have the opposite centre-back on the near post again. So 𝗕𝗪𝗘𝗘𝗚, unfortunately, is a secondary option with this setup. We got Erling Haaland lurking at that near post as well, and the defensive midfielder this time marking the goalkeeper to create a little bit more space at the far post for our main man again, Rúben Dias. Now, you can see we've got the 2 players lurking on the edge of the area again, but this is how we're kind of set up here, guys. So obviously the ball is aiming towards Dias, and he did score a lot of goals, and you can see by the attributes that we're looking at, he's got 16 for jumping reach, he's got 15 for heading, 16 for strength, 18 for bravery. So he's definitely going to put his head into those opportunities and be able to basically score you more goals because of it. So that is kind of the corners. Let's have a quick run through of the attacking free kick setup. Now, as you can see here, the delivery of the ball is set to mix. Now, G likes a mixed tactic. A mixed delivery. I kind of like a far post delivery. It's kind of whatever you feel the most works the most, but G has set things up as a mixed. Obviously, you can kind of see here the setup that we've got. It's primarily dominated by the big bodies in defense and defensive midfield, all going into the penalty area, and then we've got wingers lurking on the edge and a striker lurking as well. That is the direct free kick, and it is basically the same on this side, just with a few more bodies in on the left side. If you do need to pause this at any point to get things identified and basically get yourselves all set up, please do so. But this is how we're all set up. We've got a large line of people on go forward, 1 lurking on the edge and 1 attacking from the edge as well. In terms of the direct with a small chance of shot, this is how we have things set up, guys. A long line of people ready to go forward. Oh, guys, they've released a trailer for FM24, which is available now for you guys to go and pre-order. If you do so, please do so via my link in the description. Helps me out, helps support me as a creator, and you guys get a nice little discount on Fanatical as well. And they're doing a set piece refresh, and boy, do we need it, because go forward, I don't know what that means. It's been in the game for so long. I'm over it. It needs a replacement, which we are getting, but that's in FM24. So for FM23 set pieces, you can do this right here, right now. And that is how we are looking on the left and the right hand side there. If we go into an indirect free kick, this is how we're set up again. Very, very similar over the last 2 sides. The right hand side is set up in this particular way. So the ball is kind of being a mixed delivery. So you have threats all across the line. And then much the same on this side again, guys. We've got the same threats, the same players, the same bodies are all in the penalty area, all set to go forward. And with that mixed delivery, basically you'll pick out different people each time, therefore not just targeting the same person, because the AI is smarter this year and they will learn what you're trying to do a little bit better. So keeping it mixed is probably the best option. In terms of indirect deep, this is how we are set up on the left hand side. Again, very similar in terms of its delivery. We are keeping it as a mixed delivery. All of our targets are there inside the penalty area. There we have it on the right hand side as well, very much the same. Bodies in the same area, keeping the targets very much similar, and then we're working things through just like that. And then in terms of the throw-ins, guys, throw-ins are very important to get goals as well, and this is how we are set up here. So we've got a player to come short again to the throw-in taker, and lots of options in and around the ball here, and then the two bodies in the box. Now we do have a striker and attacking midfielder on the left hand side here. I've seen people like to throw a centre back up there just as a big option. I know 𝗪𝗚 is a big fan of that. Basically, guys, do what works for you, but this is what works for us with this particular tactic. And this is the throw in on the left hand side. Sorry, that was the throw in on the right hand side. This is the throw in on the left hand side, so you can kind of see how we're set up from an attacking perspective as well. I will say there is a defensive element to this as well. Let's just go over those super quick. We do have a defensive option in terms of our corner setup. This is how this looks as well, guys. Kind of a centre back guarding that near post, a centre back at that far post again, kind of making you aware of what they're doing there. They're all kind of doing different things. So the 6NC stands for being in there, and then we've got the 6N, which is zonally mark the 6-yard post, 6-yard box at the near post, and then we've got another one as well, zonally mark the 6-yard box at the far post. You can kind of see it's not really the best system. We've got one player set up to player mark, and then 3 players set to go back, and then 1 player as a counter-attacking option on the edge of the penalty area. And that is basically this. What am I doing here? That is basically the same on both sides. It's just a slight flick around of everybody in the same sort of positions, but that is how it looks for a defensive corner. And then we all have our defensive free kicks as well. So again, you have the same setup on the left and the right here. For the direct free kicks, it looks very, very similar. So you pause it if you need to. Obviously, we're leaving 𝗕𝗨𝗬𝗕𝗘 Haaland up for a counter attack there. The direct with a small chance of a shot. This is what this one looks like, guys. Again, I'm not going to go through, but you should be able to replicate this if you are on console, just by being able to see what is on your screen now. And then this is how we look on the right hand side. Hopefully, guys, this is going to be very useful to you, and you can actually start scoring a few more set pieces. This is how we're looking on the indirect wide. This is how we are set up on the right hand side, and then on the left hand side, this is how we're looking as well. Again, this is just a little bit of a step-by-step, just so you can kind of see what we are doing here and how this will be useful to you. But mainly the output you want is the attacking corners, isn't it? Everyone knows the near post and the far post is very OP in this year's game. So there's the indirect deep with a no chance of a shot on the left hand side, and this is how it looks on the right hand side. So that is our complete guide to set pieces. Now, I will say, please note that these set pieces, I will leave a link to them in my Discord if you do want to get this particular setup for a 4-2-3-1. They don't really transfer very well. So just kind of look at the players and look at the instructions that we have kind of shown you here and see how you can adapt that to your particular tactic, because they are definitely different for every single tactic. Don't plug these in to a 5-3-2 and expect the exact same results, because you probably won't get them.